Hello out there, my few and far between followers and viewers, and this is another set of my col- collection of flags from all over the world, and this is my upper Eastern Pacific and then some. And what can I say? I've been a big fan of Japan since I was a kid, way back when. I wanted to be a ninja, elementary school me. And I like to watch the Toei movies from Japan, the samurai and ninja cinema, which would take me all day to talk about, so I'll keep it condensed. And this was an impulse buy. It's it's just a cosplay sword. The blade is wooden. It's pretty much a toy. If I tried to fight with that, that would break in a millisecond. But it's just a nice little keepsake, and when I have my office set up, and hopefully will finally move out of this house. I really am getting tired of this house, and but that's another side issue. But I'd like to have this, displayed as kind of like the fake warrior abode. So I'm an anime fan, and some people think that I was just some kind of weeb, but actually, as a Latino, the anime fandom goes way further back than that, because in Latin America, especially here in Central America and South America, and the Spanish Caribbean and even Spain, they imported a lot of shows from Japan, especially the giant anime from way back when. Like, to this day, I like Mazinger Z, and then some. So a lot of these anime shows came to, in the 70s, 80s, even until now. They were imported because it was cheaper than getting shows from the United States. So that's why, especially Gen X Latinos, they love Mazinger Z. They have happy memories of, Mazinger Z and Grandizer and what's the other one? I get to Robo. And just today I finished volume 11 of Spy Family, and I'm just getting started on this one, and then I'll be done for a while. So, later down the road, I'll order the rest of the series and, have a complete collection. They always have one of the characters on the cover from each issue, and she's the handler. And I tend to go through these relatively fast because it's a lot of pictures and, it's very visual. And I used to get scolded for comic books when I was a kid, especially by teachers. But no, I think they're great for learning. And my knowledge of the Japanese language is very limited. So I thought about getting one of those voice translator devices, but I kind of feel like I'm cheating. I also have special devices that and apps that translate Japanese kanji into English words. And so this is the rising sun. And sadly, a lot of neighboring Asian nations like South Korea, they don't want the Japanese Navy flying this when they come into port, because to them it's like, equivalent of showing the bad German flag. But to me, it's just a historic, Japanese flag, because it's a sea-based culture, and the culture and their iconography is around the sun. So it shows the ray and the glory of the empire. So it reminds them of Imperial Japan, when they were horrible and mean and did very bad things. So here it is, the Ray Sun. And this is my souvenir from when I was in Tokyo. I went to Akihabara because, I like that otaku stuff. But honestly, Akihabara got old on me really fast. And then I randomly dipped into a souvenir shop, and I bought this on a whim, because, again, I collected flags. And the Japanese flags was on one of my, how would you say, scavenger lists, or like a scavenger hunt. So I got a Japanese flag at a very good price. And it's more of a cloth material. Not. It's got these little tie-ins, so that the material is different. The way it's sewn is different. And and the design is just simple, just a white field and a big red dot in the middle to signify the sun. And I watch a lot of Japanese, even to this day, I watch Japanese movies, and I have the Japanese audio on deliberately because I want to practice listening. And I'm not going to front like, oh, I'm a master of the Japanese language, that I can have these, conversations about the Edo period. Definitely not. But, I've always been fond of the culture and just the way I was growing up. I love learning about the world. I used to watch these National Geographics on PBS way back when, and they always had something about a country here and there. And I watched one as a little kid in the early 80s about Japan. And hey, this is fascinating. And when I started trying to learn Japanese, as a kid, I actually got mocked and made fun of. Even, my own relatives is, I don't want to air the bad laundry from the family, but I did have some growing up that were very, narrow-minded, very ethnocentric, especially my aunt. Anything not in or of the U.S. was an abomination. She got mad if she heard me speak Spanish in front of her. But that aside, this is another part of the Far East. When I joined the Army a good while back and had my time, I was hoping, that I would be stationed in Korea, because that's a country that I've been interested in, the Korean Peninsula overall. So this is South Korea, or Republic of Korea, or they'd call ROK, if you were in the U.S. military, they call the ROK Forces, or ROK Marines, Republic of Korea. And then very nice yin and yang design. And I'm just starting to learn Hangul. I still hardly know anything of it. I got an activity book. It's a word search for Hangul. And also I have one for Japanese hiragana and katakana. So, I'm trying to burn the candle at two ends as far as learning East Asian languages, especially reading. But, I feel blessed that I had the opportunity to be in Japan and experience Japan. So I'm hoping, when things start to pick up and things start to get better for me, I want to at least take a couple months to go back to Europe, which is like home away from home by now. But I especially want to go to South Korea. I'm not really in a hurry to go to the DPRK, I can't because I'm a Yank, and not only is it off limits, if I did go, I would be in trouble with the State Department. Like Cuba. Cuba's across the water. Some Panamanian relatives, they could go, even though the sanctions are lifted, but back then they could go to Cuba, but I was not allowed, because I was a spoiled little American dork. So, and this is the DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea. That's the bad Korea that we've been told about. And I don't know why I keep watching these YouTube videos about North Korea and the Kim regime, and the Kim dynasty, and Kim Jong Un and Kim Il Sung, who founded the country. But it's for me, it's always been like, the more you tell me how bad something is or somewhere is, the more interested I am. And very strict regime. And there are some sympathizers. They have a lake-top mountain called, was it Mount Pektu? And their mythical figures is Chulimon. I've seen North Korean movies just for shits and giggles, and I thought, they're kind of funny. Like there's one about is it Order Number something? What is it? But it was about Korean commandos. I saw uh, Pulgisari, which is like a North Korean attempt at the kaiju movies. And back in the days of the Kim Jong Il, yes, yeah, Kim Jong Il, he kidnapped a famous Korean director and his ex-wife, and which became his wife again. South Korean cinema stars, and so South Korea has been known for kidnapping people from Japan and South Korea to train their spies. So, not a very good track record with their neighbors. This is also from North Korea, and just in case anyone's wondering, I'm not pushing any ideology or any political agenda. This is just for the fun of learning, and this is the Korean Workers' Party flag, if I'm correct. And there's a monument that's built in downtown in Pyongyang. If you took Koryo tours, I'm not saying don't or do go, or it's just something I learned from these documentaries. And they have a big monument, and the brush is for the artist, the sickle is for the worker, the farmer, and the hammers for the laborer. And of course, the hammer and the sickle is a common part of 20th century communist iconography. So that's that for North Korea. Like I said, South Korea, I definitely want to go. My dream trip is to ride from Seoul. Maybe I'll take a day tour of the DMZ, and get to see North Korea from, over the border. And from what I understand, when you're in DPRK, they don't like it when you say North Korea. They, according to them, they are the proper Korea, and the South is, they're under occupation by those horrible, evil Americans, of which I beg to differ. But, can't question the status quo up there. And of course, if you did visit, they have minders. You can't go anywhere out of their sight. And you have to ask permission or make sure that you have proper permission to photograph anything or anywhere, because they have horrible poverty. And I'm very anti-communist. And just for fun, here's my flag of the Philippines. So any of my Filipino-American friends or people of, Filipino descent or heritage. And so this one's for you. And like I said, if I was Batman rich, I would literally try to go all over Asia. And like Japan, the Philippines is an archipelago of islands. Lots and lots of little islands, little tribes, little other languages. The main language is Tagalog and, of course, English. I believe they still learn Spanish in school, and up and before the turn of the century, from the 1800s to the 1900s, it was under the rule of Spain, named after King Phileas. That's why it's called the Philippines. And maybe one day I'll visit Cebu or Manila, just experience the culture. And all right, and I'm going to cut it off here, and hopefully I didn't bore you to death. Over and out.